And by the way, this man knows law like I knew numerology. I would not say that to anyone else. Your forte besides that is holistic medicine.
Yes.
You are known pretty much as the top holistic guy in America. And for people who doubt that, all you got to do is look the size of his wallet. He is the guy out here who's making millions upon millions with holistic medicine. In the Cliff Notes version, how have you been able to pull this off and haven't had the FDA step on your toes?
Well, the FDA came for me, but being
I bet they did.
But being legally astute, I was able to navigate. The FDA taught me a very valuable lesson, man, that I've been able to run with. Your mind has to work a certain way, man, in order to really, benefit in life. So I believe in respect. I believe in property rights, what have you. And so when the FDA says that, you're making claims for diabetes and herpes and cancer, what have you, and it's against the law, a person like me steps back and look at it and like, wait a minute, these are words in the English language, medical words, but still in the English language. What do you mean it's against the law for me to use them? I don't have the right to use them. And so that's when I learned, like, wow, like we're dealing with copyright infringement. Like these words, these are disease words, they belong to the government. Then it clicked. It's like, that's their property. They make a lot of money off of this. They control people with this. And so I came up with organs. I came up with organ words, liver, lungs, kidneys. It just clicked. The FDA doesn't own your liver. It doesn't own your kidneys. It doesn't own your colon. It doesn't own your lymphatic fluid. It doesn't own your blood. I'm like, that's where we go. We focus on the positive and not the negative.
I hope you people out there are taking notes. This man's just telling you how to get him around the man right now.
Man, it's like, it's a game, right? So, but if you look at it, like, I don't want to use the word cancer and herpes and diabetes because they instill fear in the people, and you can't heal when fear is on the scene. But if you talk about nourishing the organs, toning the organs, strengthening the organs and whatnot, that's positive. It's hopeful. It gives people hope, inspiration. It motivates people, you see. And that's where the success really came from. You stop talking about diabetes. What is diabetes? It's an adverse pancreas condition. So the government wants to protect diabetes because, hell, they sell 30 different drugs for diabetes. You see, and when you deal with the plants, one plant deals with the pancreas. You see, you got one plant that deals with the pancreas. One plant. You don't make a lot of money from that. And you get the healing that you don't get with the drugs. You can be healed with drugs because no part of your body is made up of drugs. So when women have menstrual cramps, that's not a Midol deficiency. When you have a headache, that's not an aspirin deficiency. There's no part of your body made up of aspirin. No part of your body is made up of Viagra. No part of your body is made up of Midol. You see, we are organic creatures, so our medicine has to be organic. For the people who are religious, what does the Bible say? Psalm 104:14. God created the grass for the cattle and the herbs for the service of man. What does Ezekiel 47:12 say? See, the fruit will be the food and the leaf will be the medicine. What does Revelation 22:2 says? That the leaf shall be for the healing of the nations. This is scripture telling you that the plants are your medicine. The word drug goes back to the old French word drogue, D-R-O-G-U-E, drogue. That's where our word drug comes from. When you look up drogue, it means dried plant. That's the herb. The original drug is the herb. That's why I call myself the Frank Matthews of herbalism.
Is it true, in your opinion, that any disease that a human can get can be cured by some plant, some type of water, some type of natural healing remedy? Is that your opinion?
Absolutely. If it's degenerative in nature, it's 100% reversible. 100%. My father went out in 6 months from cancer. His doctor said, you got 6 months to live, and that man was gone. A big reason for that was my father embraced it here. See, my health changed in the mid-90s because one day I rose from sleep and I said, you know what? I'm no longer going to believe in these disease words. I no longer catch colds because I don't believe in colds because I never caught a warm, I never caught a hot, but I caught a cold. So I had to switch that up. And so I let that go. So that went away. And I was a very sickly child coming up, and headaches, constipation, like you name it, I had it. And I reversed all of that. First and foremost with the mind. I had to stop believing in these things, and then I had to find out what they were. Most people are afraid of genital herpes. They're afraid of it. You have it for life. You can't heal, and your love life is over. Your sex life is over. And that's BS. What is genital herpes? Latin word herpean, to creep. We got critters on the scene. We don't think in terms of parasites when it comes to genital herpes. We don't think in terms of toxic blood when it comes to genital herpes, which is the perfect environment, for these critters, these parasites.
Yes.
So when you learn that, and you learn that you can purify the blood, you can cleanse and purify the blood, you can kill and expel parasites and worms, how are you going to tell me that you can't heal?
Okay. Andrew says, when people say that they're depressed, that's not real. What is your opinion?
What do you mean?
Is depression real? They say depression isn't real. That's just made up to sell drugs and stuff like that for big pharma. Is that your opinion, that depression isn't real, just some bullshit big pharma made up?
No, depression is most definitely real. It's I deal with health from a spiritual perspective as well too. So depression is when the spirit is deflated. And so if I recall, the snippet where Andrew was talking about that was about people not having things to do, no purpose in life,
yes,
and was lazy, what happened. And I can understand that. And from that perspective, again, I understand, because the spirit is deflated. So if you don't have any purpose or drive in life, the spirit is deflated. So if there's sorrow, if there's melancholy, you don't do anything about that, then yeah, you're going to be in that so-called depressed state. So depression is most definitely real.